Hi, everybody. It's Grandpa Bobby,
And Grandpa Scott.
and welcome to our very first live stream. We are hoping this is going to go well. We have never done anything like this before, so please bear with us, and we'll try to get through this together.
Yeah, consider us tech challenged, if you will.
Yes,
Please.
and we don't have any of our grandkids in the next room to help us, so we're kind of winging it on our own.
We thought about flying our 9-year-old in, but he was busy helping other people with their tech problems.
So what we thought today is just a little something to, first of all, thank you for being so supportive. As of this morning, we have now passed 60,000 subscribers, which is just unbelievable to us that so many people are interested in the travels of these two old farts. But we really appreciate it. And we thought we'd offer you this to get to know us a little better and to answer some of the questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have the live chat going. So if you have questions, I'll be looking over here at them a bit as we talk. And so if my head goes like this, you know what I'm doing.
And trying to read this fine print.
Always hard for me. It's like Grandpa Bobby said, really wonderful to have you here. We thought with this live Q&A, we'd be able to answer some of the many questions we've received through the comments.
I can just see our daughter is online, actually.
One of our daughters.
Hi, honey.
Hi, Nikki, honey.
We'll see you in a week. But as you know, as we said, just a little background, we started this little channel just on our own. Really, it was to show our grandkids our travels and just to keep in touch with them because, as many of you know, we have only moved to Arizona 2 years ago and we miss them terribly. So we thought we would start this channel just to show them where we were going and what we were doing. And apparently other people are interested in where we're going, what we're doing.
I see a question here, if I don't, about where are you guys from exactly?
Oh, well, I'll start off. Originally, I was born and raised in upstate New York. I went to college here in Arizona. And then after college, I moved to San Francisco where we met.
And I was born in a very small mountain town in Utah and went to school both in California. And that's where we met. So that's where we're from originally. But we spent most of our years in California.
So looking at a couple of questions, said, hi, Grandpas, how can you always stay so positive? Well, we don't always stay so positive, but
yeah, we have our moments.
We have a pretty good outlook on life. And, traveling around with your best friend is part of that.
It takes as much energy to be positive as it does to be down. And yeah, there's a lot of reasons to be down in the world. And we know that. And we know a lot of folks, maybe some of you out there, are having some hard times. Just hold on, do what you can, focus on the positive and make it better and really live your best life.
There was another question is, how is it traveling at our age? Well, nothing gets easier. Just like we said, just like Christmas decorating, we don't stop doing anything. It just takes a little longer. So with our traveling, I remember when we were first traveling in Italy, back when we were kids, we would take all day when we would travel. Now you have to take your time and take a little bit at a time, but still we've never cut anything out. We just take a little more time to do it.
Yeah. Oh, and one of the questions that came up is what is it like to travel as a queer couple? Interesting question because, we are in the LGBT plus community.
No, we're not exactly in the closet.
Yeah, we are always been open about who and what we are.
We've never had any difficulties or challenges with it. And it's kind of like the way we approach it in life. We approach everyone as if they should accept us as we are. It's almost like we challenge them and people just do. As long as you're very confident and you're not ashamed or afraid, we've not had any problems.
Yeah, we just completed a 5,000-mile road trip this past summer, Pacific Northwest up into British Columbia and Alberta. And for something fun, we created these really cheapo sweaters that say, 2 gay grandpas travel, and had our channel sign on it. And we wore them. And we thought, well, let's see what happens. Folks, the response was tremendous. We had big old bikers come up and hit us on the back of our backs and said, "Those are the greatest T-shirts we've ever seen." And then we had young queer kids come up and say, "Oh my God, that was wonderful to see." People of all ages came up and said, "How wonderful you're doing that, and we're going to go to your channel."
Yep.
So yeah, and wherever we've been, we've never had an issue.
Yeah, and that goes to another question that I'm reading is that how many countries have we traveled to and do you feel safe in them? I don't think I've ever been in a country where I didn't feel safe. We've been to about 20 countries. I've been to China, Scott hasn't, but mostly European travel, Mexico, Canada. And I don't think of an instance where, we don't put ourselves in harmful situations. You may be sensible wherever you travel, but I've never felt unsafe.
Yeah, what you do, folks, we all have this thing inside of us that lets us know, not a good situation, I don't want to be here. Listen to that.
And they're reading another one. Yes, we are wearing matching polos. These are, actually, we got two Gay Grandpa Travel.
A logo on it, yeah.
So yes, they are matching. I know, we're silly.
One of the things that we're going to be doing after the holidays with our family, which we're so looking forward to, we're going on in January on our first cruise. We've never been on a cruise before, so we made up these cheesy shirts to wear on the cruise, and just to have a little bit of fun.
And we'll be sharing those episodes with you in as future. And that goes to another question. Yes, we do all this editing ourselves. In fact, it's Grandpa Scott that does all the editing and all the music choices, which are fabulous. I'm just the on-air talent.
Yeah. Okay.
Another question was, how did we meet? How long we been together? Well, we are going on to our 45th year together, if you can believe that.
Cat.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 45.
We met in San Francisco a long time ago.
Yeah, and we actually, I'm going to share a story that I don't frequently share. Our daughters and grandkids that are on here will probably, oh God, not that story again, Grandpa. But to hear Bobby said he saw me first.
Well, no, you tell your version,
Okay.
and then I'll correct it.
I went out with a friend to a small dance club in San Francisco called Alfie's. Maybe some of you may have heard about it. And we were dancing, and I looked across in the corner, and standing in front of this mirror was this guy. And I noticed that he smiled at me, and he had the most beautiful brown eyes in the world, and they just caught me. And that's when I said to my friend, "I've had fun dancing with you, but I got to go meet him." And so I walked over and said, "You have the most beautiful brown eyes I've ever seen." And we've pretty much been together ever since.
So that's the story that I let him believe for 10 years. So then I told him the real story, I had moved to San Francisco just after college, and I was sleeping on the sofa of my friend's house there. And I was there just to have fun and party. It was the late 70s. This is prior to AIDS. And it was only 2 weeks after I had moved there. So I was out at a very popular bar, the Midnight Sun, which was one of the first ones that showed videos, actually. And I saw this really cute guy. So I stored that memory in the back of my head and said, "Oh, that one's really cute." So then a few days later, I went to this dance club and I saw him out there dancing. So I said, okay, I'm a little on the passive aggressive side. So I positioned myself where I'd be right in his direct line of view, right in front of the mirror. And I just stood there nonchalantly waiting for him to look at me. So that's how we got together, and literally have been together ever since that day.
Yeah. And we had a question come through the past, and I'm sorry I missed it. Have you been to Louisiana, or are you planning to? Believe it or not, we haven't yet, but we are going to be, when we come back from our cruise, we're going to be landing in Louisiana at Louis Armstrong Airport. Unfortunately, the layover doesn't give us a lot of time to go in and see things, but we will return. It definitely is one of the road trips we want to do through the southern portion of the U.S.
We just got a question from Miss J, who is our granddaughter, and she wants to know who is our favorite grandchild. Don't push it, honey.
Yeah, really, Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming. So what are the bucket list travel destinations we haven't visited yet? Well, we do. Sometime we want to do Buenos Aires. Grandpa wants to do, where did Patagonia. Yeah, I'm hoping we're not too old to be able to withstand doing that. But there are a lot of, we want to do the fjords of Norway.
Yes.
Even though we've traveled a lot of European countries, we still haven't done Portugal. And there are a lot of places we want to see again. So it's endless. I mean, there are just so many beautiful things to see around the world.
Australia, Africa. I've always wanted to go to Africa.
I mean, Egypt, you've always wanted.
Egypt,
yeah,
yes,
someday.
Egypt, absolutely. I love the history. I'm so into all the pharaonic stuff.
Another question is, what do we do as a career? Well, yeah, actually, this is not our full-time job, although answering your comments has been. Just an aside, we are really trying to answer the comments and questions from everybody online, but we do have a job. We run our interior design business. I'm a commercial interior designer, so I do the design side. Scott handles all the business.
I get his coffee.
No, he doesn't. No, Scott takes care of all the business. I am a right brain. I am not left brain. So Scott takes care of all the management and billing and things. And we're not semi-retired, but we don't work 40 hours a week at this. And going forward, we're probably going to have to work less if we're going to keep up with all your questions.
Honestly, guys, we never thought this would happen. We were as amazed by this as anyone. We thought, oh boy, if we could get to like 50 family and friends subscribing, that would be just a hoot for us, okay? That's what it was about.
Do you speak any languages other than English? Absolutely not, and I feel horrible for that. I'm an Italian American. Both of my grandfathers were born in Italy. My grandmothers were of the same descent. But they believed in those old adages that you don't speak Italian to the kids because they wanted to indoctrinate us, to almost make us wasps. So unfortunately, we can barely order off the menu. Same with your German.
Yeah, I had 3 years of German. And unfortunately, when you live in a small town in Utah and you have 3 years of German, you don't have a lot of people to speak it with. And so it kind of goes away. But when we were in Germany, I was surprised how quickly I could pick up on it, except in German they speak so fast, and I hear so slow, and so that is one of the issues with it. And Bob kids himself. He's kidding you a bit. His French, boy, he really did.
My high school, I slaughter my high school French. Sorry, Mrs. Marola. But the thing we definitely do is to learn a few key phrases wherever we go, whatever country, be it Germany or even Slovenia, Czech Republic. That's a hard one. But we feel it's really important to address people in their own language, to be able to say something in their own language. Nearly everyone speaks English to some degree, except when we visited some little hill towns in Italy, and there, you wave with your hands and you smile and you get by. But we think it's really respectful to at least address people in their own language.
Now, we live in Arizona. We had lived in California. So our Spanish kind of started out being restaurant Spanish, if you will, but we're expanding it. And so, we think one of the things that we have loved about travel is when you go to several other countries, and especially when those countries are close together, so many, it's mostly the kids. The kids can speak 4 and 5 languages. And we just think that's so amazing.
Well, and the thing we find out too is that a lot of times when we're in a country, the people would like us to speak English because it gives them a chance to practice their English. So don't be ashamed of the fact that you can't speak their language. Just have the courtesy to learn a few words. Our daughter has just posted that success has gone to our head. This is crazy. We never anticipated this popularity. So no, we remain humble and we're just grateful. First of all, we're grateful we actually got this live stream to work. We are not the most computer savvy.
Yeah, we really appreciate you all suffering through this. We hope to do some more, get better at them. Actually, we hope to do a live one if the Wi-Fi is good enough from our cruise in January. We thought that would be fun.
And what is your age, Grandpa? You get to go first.
Folks, I just turned 74 this month.
And I am much, much younger. No, I am 67 and a half.
Yeah, I robbed the cradle.
Well, see, the best thing is you'll always feel young if you marry someone older than yourself.
Yeah, I love it. a person put, and the conjugation situation with German is less than ideal.
Yeah.
Boy, it was a difficult language to learn. But when we go abroad, people say that English is nuts. You have the same word for 5 or 6 different things. And so, oh, really? And then you have to think about it. Yeah, we do.
Do you collect recipes to remind you of your travels? Yeah, actually, well, just to explain a little bit, we're very symbiotic in the kitchen. Grandpa Scott does all the cooking and I do all the baking, and we never step on each other's toes.
Yeah. Who cleans up?
But
But
actually, Grandpa Scott is a great cook, and everywhere we go, we do try to pick up recipes or at least flavor ideas. Grandpa has really perfected a very good Spanish paella.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that. I picked up a few tips when we were on a road trip through Spain a few years ago. It was wonderful. People were willing to share with us their tips and their hacks, if you will, on wonderful paella. So yeah, I tried to bring that back.
Tell us about your favorite trip. Our favorite trip is always the next one. It's true. We loved everywhere we go. Every place has been exciting, different. When you go with an open mind, as we say, travel with your heart, you open yourself up to enjoy it. Sometimes some situations might not be as easy when you're driving into a town for the first time at the traffic. And remember, driving into Nafplio in Greece when they were having a festival, it was not happy time. When we were trying to return the rental car, where were we in Spain? Seville. There are moments, but they are more than balanced by the great times we have in each country. So we're always just looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, you get all kinds of crazy, wonderful adventures when you get lost. We were in a hill town in Italy, and no one spoke any English, and we were really hungry. So we walked into this place, and it was the locals. And so we thought, boy, we're going to get some great food there. And I'm needing to look up. Grandpa Bobby's pointing at the camera.
You're not looking at that.
Look at the screen. I'm sorry, folks. Anyway, we're in this hill town, and I couldn't read the menu. Bob really didn't read the menu. And I thought, well, I'm just going to pick this. And I'm not real big on seafood, but I had the most incredible pasta with anchovies in that hill town that I've ever had. And so when you just kind of open up and explore, you learn new things.
Yep. One comment here from Emma was that she really enjoyed her trip to Turkey. I would love to go to Istanbul. I'd love to go to Turkey. You had mentioned earlier the comments where do we feel safe as gay people? I'm not sure I feel safe yet going to Istanbul. Just not sure yet. Not to say we don't want to, because we were thinking when we were in Greece the last time that we would try to stop there, but things were getting a little bad, and so we paused. Not to say we won't go there, but I think we're going to wait until we feel really more comfortable.
Yeah, to be honest and quite frank, there are some countries with changes in government where we would feel maybe a little uncomfortable because, like I said, we don't live in the closet. We're not going to hide who we are. We want to live our authentic and best lives. And so hopefully we'll get to Turkey and some of the other countries right now that we were a little cautious of. Like any place you could have problems, but we do try to be observant about where we might put ourselves at greater risk.
How has the amount of followers and subscribers impact you both? Well, we don't have enough hours in the day to respond to your comments. We feel a real obligation to you all of our adopted grandchildren, that you've reached out to us, being so kind and generous with your comments, that we're trying to respond to everybody, but we just haven't had the time in the day. So we will try to keep up. We have to learn how to do all of this because it's come to us so quickly. So please bear with us.
Now, there's Carson put a post here about, as we increase in popularity, looking into getting to moderated free live stream. We will look into that. As I mentioned, Carson, this is our first time. We're learning the process. We want this to be a safe place for people, so I'm trying to look to see if anyone's doing anything.
You haven't seen anything.
So far, if anybody sees this, let us know, because I'm trying to look up there and look at the screen.
You look everywhere at the same
and
time.
I'm old and I get dizzy.
What are our names? My name is Robert, but I always go by Bob. Well, actually, it's a funny story. I'm Robert. As a little child, I was always Bobby, and I had an older cousin, so I was little Bobby. But then I got to high school, and I wanted to be a big boy, so I went by Bob. And all through college, I went by Bob. But then I met Scott, and he immediately, from day one, called me Bobby, and I realized that's really who I am. So I go by Bobby.
And I'm Scott. I'm just Scott.
But you weren't born Scott.
Well, no, I was born with a first name, and
You can tell them.
my first name was John, actually, and my middle name is Scott. But there were some situations with the person who I was named after that I was uncomfortable with, and I didn't want to hurt my mom and dad's feelings. So when I waited until after my mom and dad passed to legally change my name to Scott.
So another question is, could you travel to Poland? Yes, we'd love to travel to Poland. Love to see Krakow. I've seen beautiful things. We actually watch a lot of YouTube videos on travel, and they just get us more excited. We ran into a young lady who recommended we come to Lithuania. I forgot what's the capital of Lithuania.
Oh, bear with me, folks.
I forget about it. Anyway, but yeah, it was just amazing. I will say we have been Europe centric. We hope we'll expand that beyond in years to come. But there's just so many beautiful things. Next year, if you hang with us, next year Grandpa Scott turns 75, and well, it's true. So we've already planned my birthday present to him. Is he's always wanted to see the Christmas markets in Europe, so we're going to go there. And there's some beautiful areas in the Alsace that we want to visit. So that'll be in a forthcoming video way down the road.
Yeah, and we also are planning a summer trip because it's always nice to get out of
Arizona desert during the summer.
During the summer, because it can get quite warm.
So we're still thinking about where we're going to go this summer.
I love this. We had a comment, hey, please don't feel pressured to reply to the comments. Cherish the influx, but don't let us. Oh, no, that's so sweet of you. We hope that this live stream is a way for us to
answer some of those comments and respond. What we're trying to do is set up like the first half hour of the day. Both of us get on the computer and try to respond to comments just to keep up with them. But with the holidays coming, we're traveling. We're going back to see our grandkids. Yay! So we might not be able to do that for a while. So please bear with us.
Yeah, we want to take a little time to just be with family. The family is very important.
What we call the original grandchildren.
Yeah, they say the originals, okay? But they're willing to share and have been very gracious about it. They're wonderful, wonderful. Well, they're not kids. A lot of them aren't kids anymore. They're
our grandkids range in age from 9 to 29. So most of them are not little kids anymore, but we love them all the same, no matter what age.
I'm trying to keep up here on the...
What was our first international trip? Our first international trip was in 1984, before most of you were born, and we went to Italy. This was back when there was no internet. You had to do all of your reservations through mail.
Phone calls.
Long distance phone calls. We had American Express put out guidebooks back then, and we looked at them. Italy was still on the lira. They weren't a part of the EU, but it was wonderful. That's what got us hooked on traveling. And I still say to most Americans, when they ask, where would you go first? I always recommend people start with Italy because it's pretty cost effective. It's not the most expensive country. You can see a lot within a limited area, and there's still so much amazing architecture, food, culture, and art in some various different cities. So we always recommend you start with that and then branch, and then you get hooked.
Yeah, we really mean it when we say travel with your heart. Go where you want to go. Go see something that excites you, that you will feel comfortable in, and just enjoy it. Be open to it. We had a question. One second, Bobby. We had a question about how many children, how many grandkids. We have two incredible, wonderful daughters.
Who never let us forget it.
They mean so much to us. They've given us so much love and support.
And the best thing is they gave us 6 grandchildren.
Yes, 6 grandkids who also
4 from one, 2 from another.
Yeah, so we're blessed, folks.
And
We
speaking
know
of grandchildren, Emma writes that Boone, North Carolina is a great place to visit. Our oldest granddaughter, who we refer to as number one, she and her girlfriend moved to North Carolina.
South Carolina.
Well, they're all over in the same. Come on, compared to California or Arizona, they're very close.
This is where you're going to get into trouble, so watch what you say.
But hopefully we'll get over to visit them soon. It's our first Christmas without her.
Okay, we had another quick call about Istanbul. And yes, all right, wonderful. We got a thing about inviting us to Istanbul, and we will love it.
And elderly people are highly respected. Well, there you go.
We are covered then, because
Yep,
we're elderly.
Have you ever thought about visiting Belgium? We have been to Bruges and loved it. As part of this Christmas trip we're planning, we're going to be going to Brussels. So we're looking forward to that too. Beautiful country.
Let me see. Well, we had several people said they're so glad that we found your channel. We're glad you found our channel. We're glad to share with you and meet so many wonderful people here through our channel.
And that's part of the great thing about travel is meeting people. The memories we have of the people we've met along the way has been just amazing, and it really enriches your life. How do your travel preferences differ from one another? They really don't.
Yes, I want to go first class, okay? I'm old. I want a lot of room. I want first class. This guy would stick me in coach if he could.
We're not the biggest people in the world. I'm 5'6", Grandpa's 5'8".
I'm 6'2".
We can fit anywhere. So, I'm not so inclined to spend the money on first class. I'd rather spend it on where we're traveling and being able to travel more. But yeah, I guess that's the only difference.
Yeah, well, we've never traveled first class except for one time. Oh, I'm up here. We never traveled first class except for one time when my baby sister treated us to first class to go back to Philadelphia to see his cousin in a play, which we enjoyed immensely.
Yeah, but unfortunately, luxury spoils you.
Yeah.
And once you get used to a little bit of luxury, it's hard to give it up.
We've flown economy because we have to watch our pennies. There are times when we will kick it up to what they call economy plus, only because as you get older, there's things you got to do. I need to stand and walk about a bit, and because I don't want to throw a blood clot or whatever. Those are serious things you have to think about, and I need to look up at the camera again.
What country do you want to travel as soon as possible? Well, that's what we're going to start talking about that. It's a 7-hour drive to visit our family. So during that drive, we're going to talk about where we're going to go this summer, but somewhere in Europe, we have no idea. Greetings from Croatia. I hope you'll visit. We love Croatia. We've been to Rovinj. We've been all the way down to Split. We actually visited Dubrovnik before Game of Thrones. So we love Hvar. Croatia is one of those amazing countries that people haven't visited as much that we really encourage.
Yeah, and the people were so wonderful. The food was just a delight.
If you love fish, it's awesome. What made you decide to share your travels on YouTube? Well, moving to Arizona separated us from our grandkids. We were always within 1 hour of all 6 of our grandkids and saw them often. And we didn't want to lose that connection. So that's why we started the channel. And, another thing, just to encourage them to get out and explore the world, because it's meant so much to us.
Yeah. I'm loving it here. I want to thank you. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Jay. When he wrote, Grandpa Scott knows what he wants.
Oh, trust me.
I certainly do. So
we often have a saying, Grandpa Scott is the kite, I am the string. He flies high and I'm the one that keeps him tethered to the ground. And that's been constant throughout our life.
And I think that's part of the key to making our relationship work.
Yep. How has your life changed after popularity? Well, really, it hasn't changed. If nothing else, our daughters and our grandchildren keep us grounded. There is no getting a swelled head in this family.
No, they will beat you down if you try to get a swelled head. And we appreciate that.
What's your favorite trip of all that you've taken? Gosh, I really can't say. And it's not that I don't want to offend anybody, but each trip has had something amazing. Sometimes discovering things that you didn't anticipate, like visiting the city of Ljubljana was a total surprise. It was just a little place that was literally, we were in Venice and we were going to Rovinj and we needed to stop along the way. So we picked Ljubljana, and it's one of the most amazing cities we've ever been to. So sometimes the discoveries of things like, Paris is going to be Paris. It's amazing. But sometimes the discovery of places that you had no idea how amazing they were can be the best memories.
That's one of the things about our trips. Many times, our road trips or when we travel, we do book certain things because you want to have a room, but we try to leave ample time for those spontaneous moments where we say, let's check out that hill town.
No. Usually it's Grandpa Scott looking up and seeing the most expensive 5-star hotel and saying, "Oh, let's go there." And it's amazing how, without even knowing where he is, he can uncannily find a 5-star hotel in the middle of nowhere.
So not true.
JS, are you both okay with the cold? How about Iceland? Hon, we moved to Arizona because we don't like cold, but Iceland is beautiful. Reykjavik, we've seen slides of it. We'll come in the summertime sometime.
We've had family members go,
Mhm.
and we have been to cold places. I mean, Bobby had family living in Alaska, and we've been up there many times. I was one time had a consulting business where I would go up and do team building, and I did it up in Alaska in February at their fur rendezvous, and had the time of my life.
Mhm.
And
So we'll come visit you in summertime. It's an interesting question Orlando has. Do you guys ever feel burnout while traveling? Yes, you can. What we like to do is, especially when we go, it's expensive to travel. So we go for a long time. We try to go for 3 to 4 weeks at a time. And what we always try to do is plan in a vacation from vacation, where we just take a day here and there every week or so just to have a time out and pick a village or someplace where you can just relax. And I think as we go forward, it's going to be spent time editing our videos.
Yeah, if there's anything that we have learned about having a channel is, boy, it's a lot of work.
Mhm.
Because the editing process I've received some really nice comments about the editing. We appreciate it very much.
But we are amateurs.
I'm learning. I do study on it. I play other YouTube videos to learn about editing.
And we ask for comments. Anybody can have comments on how you think we can improve the channel or what we should be doing differently. We're always open to understanding and making it better for us and for you and for the originals.
We want you to be excited. We want you to enjoy the places we go, because that's what it's about. It's about
Mhm.
sharing our adventures with you.
What are our favorite foods from your trips? Everything. Dining is one of the best things about travel. Just finding new foods, trying different things in every country.
That when we were in Croatia, I do remember a really special meal.
Mm.
We were in the wonderful little city of Český Krumlov.
Yes.
And
That wasn't Croatia, that's Czech Republic.
Oh, Czech Republic. Czech Republic. And we were in Český Krumlov, and we were in a place. And they're not paying us to say this. It's just the name of the place. The Two Sisters. And we ordered what would have been a medieval meal at the time. And this big platter of food came out, and it was a delight. It was so much fun.
This is an interesting question. My wife and I have 4 kids and look forward to being 2 lesbian grandmas. We are in the teen phase. Now, any words of wisdom to make it through? Oh, I feel for you. Living through 2 teenage daughters. Words of wisdom would be patience and just listen to them. We find that, that's one of the big things. It's important as grandparents. Just listen. These kids, you can't say, "Oh, when I was your age." The world is so different from when we were their age. It's so much more complicated and complex. So my advice would be just listen and try to understand what they're going through and encourage. And don't beat them. Try as hard as it may be sometimes. Oh boy, 2 teenage daughters.
He's so kidding.
He's
so kidding.
Our daughters were perfect, weren't they?
They were perfect. They were absolute perfection. Where
Do you like Disney? Well, yeah, we have been to Disneyland so many times. I've been to Disney World. Scott hasn't when I was a kid, but we lived in Southern California for 20 years, and so we would visit Disneyland and take grandkids to them. So yes, definitely, we've loved it.
I've been going to Disneyland since they had the books with the actual
The e-ticket. Well, actually, Grandpa Scott worked at Disneyland for a while.
Oh yeah,
Back in the day.
back in the day.
The only thing that, our criticism would be it's so bloody expensive that, you shouldn't have to take out a mortgage to be able to take your kids anywhere. But
Yeah, well, that's true about a lot of things right now. When you have kids, and we're really aware of it, it does cost a lot. It
Mhm.
costs a lot to go to any of these places. So, most things that you can do is try to budget and look for deals if you're traveling with family,
Mhm.
and do the best you can. One really good trip a year for some young people can just open their eyes to a whole new
Yep.
world of adventures, and then that's the benefit of that. Um,
Question is, have you guys ever been to the Caribbean? Give us another month. We're going to the Caribbean for our first time on our first cruise. So that should be an adventure that which we'll share with you.
we are we are going to be two virgins on virgin
Virgin,
voyages.
So it'll be interesting. So we'll see.
We're looking forward to it. Um,
When you're at home, how do you entertain yourself? Well, Grandpa Scott and I love to go hiking, and we live in an area that has some beautiful hiking, and so we go hiking a lot.
yeah, love to hike, and it's really good for your health. So as you get older, find those things that you can benefit from. Oh, it looks like we are getting close to ending the stream, folks. Hopefully, I didn't run over too much. Thank you so much. We really appreciate
Thank you,
being
guys.
here. Thank you. We'll do this again, okay?
Yes, now that we figured out how to do this and to do it successfully, we'll do that, and hopefully, maybe we'll do one while we're on our cruise.
Yeah,
Let's see if we can
will.
get that to work. So, we wanted to say, whatever you're celebrating, have a happy and safe holiday. You guys have really brought the holiday joy to us this year. It's been memorable, and we look forward to hearing all your comments.
Yeah, and so have a good time. We'll see you after the holidays in January.
Oh, and
Oh.
just remember, we have a new video we're going to drop tomorrow
Tomorrow on Going to the Sun Road.
up
So
in Glacier National Park. So
one of
look
our
for that.
favorite places to road trips.
Yep.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Oh my God.
Look at